Digital and Collaborative Learning in Context, Digital Assignment 1. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko ki tumu toku maunga, ko mataura toku awa, ko Eastern Empire toku waka, ko English toku iwa, ko Adam toku tipuna, ko Nick Top taku hoia rangatira, ko Joshua Knight arawa Bradley Knight taku tama, ko Michelle Top toku ingawa, nōrira tēnā koutou tēnā tātou katoa. On the first day of our Mindlab course, we were told about Assignment 1, Digital and Collaborative Learning in Context. We needed to identify, justify, and plan a digital and collaborative learning innovation applied to a specific area of our practice. Upon reflection of my interview for our Cole teacher in school position and parent survey, I recorded several ideas then discussing with my collaborative partner and fellow colleagues at the Mindlab. 21st century real-world problem solving and innovation stood out as being the pathway to follow. Rereading the assignment question, I decided to develop my numeracy practice, reviewing Seesaw blogs and assessment highlights, possible causes as to why our akona were not making the progress in mathematics I had hoped. Student behaviour suggested their needs were not being met when engaging them into mathematical knowledge and application and retention. The application of new mathematical learning was not being applied across the math and the whole wider New Zealand curriculum. Assessments showed extended periods of no shift, and 17 out of 45 akona, 37%, were below standard. This information clearly shows that our akona were not being given real-world problem-solving and innovation opportunities that engaged and related to them, and the questioning was at a Bloom's taxonomy knowledge level. They were not inspired, therefore not engaged, displaying a fixed mindset towards problems. So armed with the above research, I met with my principal and deputy principal team leader. From this discussion came a new direction for my practice. Parent reflection being not so much about my delivery of the mathematical curriculum, rather its promotion of it in the school. In our junior team, we sent home reading logs and writing regularly, whereas mathematics is limited, so rather than taking it personally, look at it more globally. Also, to enrich a math program further, could incorporate the honeycomb model from the literacy and using a similar framework in mathematics, to include rich learning tasks, to look for picture books that related to mathematical concepts and learning, and to have maths links to the real world on a daily basis. And also I'd like to involve our parent community and our teaching staff with maths evenings like we did with reading. From further discussions with Principal and DP, I began thinking how I could extend our akona and teaching staff and families further. I thought I could introduce the augmented reality world apps, such as Erasma. By using Erasma, we can overlay information of the real world and the virtual world, bringing to life our learning. Using Erasma will enable the students to create videos and trigger images, enabling them to gain and share knowledge of themselves and their learning for others to share. Erasma can be used across the school curriculum in the social sciences for student photo boards and family trees, and literacy for book reviews and messages, and mathematics to share knowledge, formula workings, teachings, and by sharing problems and solutions, etc. By enriching our akona with real-world problem-solving and innovation tasks, we are creating an environment that begins to teach our akona to learn how to learn, being flexible enough to respond to them rather than forcing them to fit the system. By getting to know our akona, we can shape a learning environment where they can develop their sense of self, curiosity, knowledge, and compassion. Karen Seymour. Real-world problem-solving and innovation linked to the key competencies of thinking and problem-solving places our akona within the developmental zone. What I can do with help, Vygotsky's social development theory, the zone of proximal development. Our akona are engaging the above key competencies to engage in their learning. Through thinking and problem solving, using language and symbols relating to others, contributing and participating, and he tikanga whakaaro through tataringatanga, thinking and making meaning, whai wahatanga, engagement and participation, 21st century learning, collaboration, and rangatiratanga, manangitanga, and whanaungatanga, relationships with oneself, within a group, and with the group. Working alongside others in a collaborative environment, we're able to incorporate our school, family and whānau, and the wider community on a common interest, developing our real-world problem-solving and innovation model, creating a communal sense of belonging and confidence to participate within context. The SAMAR model moves through 4 levels, blending technology seamlessly into teaching and learning to encourage higher order thinking, supporting the 21st century learning, real-world problem-solving and innovation. As mentioned above, the key competencies link tightly with the hitakanga whakaaro and the real-world problem-solving and innovation. As well as linking, the key competencies also offer a vast range of opportunities in the real world. The key competencies encourage our akona to use their metacognitive processing to make sense of the information given, as not all information is given. They are required to make scenarios and actively seek information to create knowledge. Through rich tasks, akona are offered the opportunities to investigate, generate ideas, explore several possibilities, design a coherent solution, and then test the solution and look for improvements. By using language and text symbols, we are able to relate to others by working effectively together, coming up with new approaches, ideas, and ways of thinking. This is where bringing in digital technology, such as Erasmus, can really extend their learning and bring in the collaborative practices by sharing their learning with the wider community and the world. My focus is on whakawhanaungatanga, building family-like relationships with our akona. Through these relationships, I'll be able to devise rich real-world problems, incorporating the key competencies in hitakanga whakaaro. I will create an environment where we can really get to know our akona, share new apps with colleagues and families to develop their own awareness, hold parent and school workshops where all family members can participate in mathematical rich opportunities within a learning context, provide information to our families about key information our akona need to aspire in maths. Using observations, akona voice surveys of our colleagues, family, whānau, and community, and through reflective feedback, I can identify what works and why. What I have learned through this process is collaborative teaching is not just between teacher and teacher-student, but encompasses our school community as well as the world. Through use of digital technology, we are able to learn from a variety of sources around the world. Through the use of apps, we are able to extend the learning of our akona and share it globally. When planning for learning, have the key competences hitakanga whakaaro in the 21st century learning as a skeleton to develop rich learning experiences that relate to our akona. Becoming familiar with different applications in order to complete this assignment. Trying out a lot of different forms of presentation apps to learn about them. I feel although it has taken a lengthy amount of time, I have learnt from each experience. Having to rewrite my assignment numerous times to bring it within the set constraints of the time frame. Finally, pushing myself to overcome the hurdles posed by the very makeup of this assignment, proving to myself I have a growth mindset and can achieve anything I put my mind to it. Presentation presented by Michelle Top, 2018.